So read through it while I'm getting situated here. So we got 12 people, and we think in part A they're saying that we don't care about gender, so I don't think gender matters. But I think age matters for this shampoo or whatever it is. So we can cover up the gender part for this one. That doesn't make a difference. And then we're just pairing them up by age. So you're trying to find the person who's most similar to that person. So, like, who's most similar to volunteer number 1? Volunteer number 2, because they're both almost the same age. Who's most similar to volunteer number 3? Number 12. You have 47 and 46. So just write down, like, the combinations that go together. That's all matched pairs is. You're blocking size 2 and you're making them as similar as you can to each other. And then it does say give the criteria that you used. So I just said, like, I paired by age. Does that make sense where I'm getting the pairs from? We good there? Not one person nodded their head, shook their thank you. Let's start throwing things at people. So then if you go to part B, sorry you gotta flip the page back and forth here, but now it's saying gender and age we think matter. So we're adding like another characteristic. We're still trying to make the people in each pair as similar as possible. So like volunteer number 1 is a 21-year-old male. Which volunteer is the most similar to a 21-year-old male? A 23-year-old male, number 11. So you're going to go 1 and 11. Number 2 is a 20-year-old female. Who are they going to go with? Number 10, right? 24-year-old female. So you're pairing them up, trying to make the pairs as similar as you can. So do that, do part B. Does that make sense what I'm talking about? How I'm getting the numbers? Thank you, Drew. If Drew says it, then it is so. Or if Hope whispers. Again, it says give the criteria, so like tell them what you're basing it on. And then part C is where we'll find out if you understand what's going on or not. Part C is your final exam. So those are the pairs I got for B, and then my little explanation. When you're done with B, try C. C is where you gotta think. Alright, so for C, what they want to do, so you got these 6 blocks. We made 6 blocks up here. What they want to do is give 3 of these blocks one kind of shampoo, and then 3 of these blocks the other kind of shampoo. Well, the whole point of making these blocks is what's true about number 1 and 11. They're very, very similar. So if one of the shampoos works better, it wasn't because of age, it wasn't because of gender. Same with 2 and 10, they're similar. So if I give 1 of each, one shampoo works better. I know it wasn't because of age, it wasn't because of gender. Well, if I give all 3 of these one type, and it works, and say A works better in all those, do I know why? I don't. I don't know if it was because of age. All you're doing there is bringing gender and age back into the game where we just tried to remove them. So it is not an appropriate way. Their suggestion is not appropriate. How many had no, it wouldn't be appropriate? Cool. I wrote a little more than you'd have to here, but I was just trying to really explain it well for you guys. So no, it wouldn't be appropriate. I already have groups of 2 that are similar to each other. So I want to randomly assign one shampoo to one person and the other to the other person. And then I know if one shampoo is better, it wasn't because of age or gender, it was because of the shampoo, because that's the only thing that changed. How many feel like you understand part C, like what I just said there? That's good. If you don't, that's something you want to look at some more, because that's pretty important, or ask a question, but that would mean you'd have to talk in class, I guess. Anything I can help with here on part C? This is a really good question. I really like this question, I will say. Okay. What do I got up there? 2000. Yeah. I'm so excited you talked. You could have asked anything and I'd have said yes. Not you specifically, just anybody. If you're ready to move on, go to the next one I have up there, which I can't even see from the glare, but 2005B number 3, I think. Yeah. If you're still copying, great. If you want to move on, it's the 3rd one up there. We already did these 2, so. Is this the mosquito one? Right? Yeah. So you're doing the same experiment twice. Yeah, it's a terrible experiment. I wouldn't want to do it. One is completely randomized, one is matched pairs. Abby, does what I'm saying or writing make sense? Okay. To be determined. Is anybody still writing this down? So for 2005B, the mosquito one, part A is completely randomized. That's like the easiest type. That's the first thing we learned. It's like half do one thing, half do the other. For the matched pairs, think about what's the most similar to one of a person's forearms. Wait, what'd you say? This whole thing sucks. You have to pay me so much to do this experiment. That sounds terrible. It's like torture. So there's what I wrote for A. I want to show you the whole thing. So that's your standard. Put it in a hat, mix them up. First half will get this treatment. Second half will get this treatment. We'll compare in context at the end, so we'll compare number of mosquito bites. Yeah. What do you mean? Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah. It's just like longer to write it that way, but yeah. Any questions on A? The completely randomized type? Again, for B, think about what's the most similar to one of a person's forearms. Would be their other forearm, right? That's how you would match pair it. You do still need to randomize. Yeah, you're going to have like double the results because you'll have, yeah. Right, you don't need as many, but it's always better to have more, so. Each person is their own block or matched pair, yeah. You chop off your forearms, you put them in a hat, you mix them up. If there's only two things, instead of, I probably should have said this a couple minutes ago, instead of putting them in a hat, you can flip a coin if there's only two things. You can still put them in a hat and mix them up, but it's faster to flip a coin, so you can do that. So for part B, that's what I said. It's for each subject, flip a coin. You do still have to randomize. So it's possible somehow that mosquitoes like right arms better than left arms. I highly doubt that, but if you put the same kind of treatment all on the right arm, for example, you wouldn't necessarily know if it was because it was the right arm or because of the treatment. I think that's really unlikely, but you got to randomize something. So for each subject, flip a coin to determine which arm gets which treatment. You could also mix them in a hat and do it that way. And then each person's going to put both arms in, which sounds terrible, but you got one treatment on one arm, one treatment on the other. We'll count the number of mosquito bites at the end and see which one worked better. And that's matched pairs, because you got a block of two, and each thing is extremely similar to itself. Questions on part B there? So then part C, which one was better? The matched pairs is better because everything else is the same. It controls all the other variables. None of the other variables change, something like that, something along those lines. Any questions for me? Can I move on from this, or are people still writing? Good Lord, somebody talk.
No one's writing.
Alright. I want you to consider this a Frappy. So I would write it on the back of your package. There's a blank page on the back. So, you know, like the Frappies are eligible for the tests. I want you to know this is eligible for the test, is what I'm trying to say. So why don't you try that? So, response variable, what I mean there is like I didn't tell you how you're measuring if the person was good at driving or not. So you have to figure out what you're going to measure in the simulator to determine if they're driving better or worse. So it could be like times you go outside of your lane, or how many stop signs you miss, or your reaction time to some laser, or how many people you injure. It doesn't really matter what it is, as long as you have some way to like put a number on it and be like, here, I can tell this person did better because of this. Yeah, it's match pairs, so think about like what's the most similar thing to any one person. It's that same person, right? And you do have to randomize something. We'll talk about why. Because you read it. Alright, so first you have to say what your response variable is. Should I wait a minute? How many are still writing? How many would like more time? Okay, I'll wait a minute. Okay, so first I gotta decide my response variable, and that's up to you. It has to be something you can measure that tests how well the person's driving. So, like I said, time to go out of your lane, number of stop signs you miss, how long it takes you to react to something, number of people you injure, doesn't matter what it is, as long as you're measuring something. Then, each person's going to drive through the simulator twice. Once while texting and once while talking. And we're going to compare. But what do we have to randomize? Which one they do first? Why? You might get better, right? So like, improving is a lurking variable. So let's say I did all the texting ones second, and then the people did way better the second time. Is that because texting helps, or is it because they got better at it? Like, I don't really know. So you have to randomize the order because that improving the second time through is a lurking variable. So you flip a coin or you put them in a hat to randomize the order, and then you compare everything at the end. So I said my response variable. Every person drives through twice, once while talking, once while texting. We flip a coin to see which one they do first, or you put it in a hat, mix them up, whatever. And at the end, we take all the texting and all the talking and compare whatever your response variable was. Yeah. You'd like a combo? Oh, like a control? No, that's fine. That's good. That's not going to hurt at all. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What did you say at the end? At the end, we're going to compare? Yeah, that's perfect. So, okay, yeah, I'd rather at the bottom than the top. So you're good. Any other questions? Okay. That's it. We got 2 more days of notes, I guess. Con is due Friday, remember? I noticed a lot of you haven't started. I don't know if you forgot or you're waiting or what, but remember your con is due Friday?
Oh, God. Just don't assign it to Charlie ever again. She's gonna cry.